Hello, this is Daniel Stevens. I'm part of El Sistema Lehigh Valley, and this is an application video for my Tati Cohort Lab application that I'm completing. And I wanted to dive in. I'm going to dive in right away. There were some questions to answer, and they said to pick one of them, and I'm going to try to dive into two if that's okay, and I'm just going to jump in right now. The first question is, what are my personal and professional goals, and how can Tati help me to get there? I have a deep desire for teaching. I've been doing it for some time now, and I found great passion and purpose in doing so. I really love liberating students through community experiences that absolutely center joy and not necessarily hard work and trial and tribulations, though those things can come and be very important in our life and as we develop in our career and our musical life and experiences. I really want to make sure that we're centering joy. I want to be able to uplift the voices of students no matter what. Each student has a voice and they all have something to say. And sometimes they can have trouble getting those feelings or words out and maybe feel uncomfortable. So it's our job as teachers to make sure that they're comfortable, and the way that we can give them a voice to say something and to express how they feel is through music. All of our students are very musical. It's our job to be able to incorporate that and teach them how to use that voice through their instrument and also through their community and how they can be able to help. A lot of teachers, just believe that teaching is we're just teaching an instrument, but really we're just teaching a way for the student to be able to express themselves. An instrument can just be a piece of wood and some strings or a piece of brass, etc. But we are teaching the students to be able to express themselves and to center their applications through joy and their life through their instrument. So it's up to us to be able to do that. Also to understand our community. How can we play a part? How can we fit in and make the community and the student and the area that they're being a part of a better place? It's not for them to cater to us and to do the criteria that we are planning and assigning for them. It is up to the teacher, I believe, it is up to the teacher 100% to find a way for the student to be able to feel comfortable, for us to cater to them and to be a part of them. Those are some of my philosophies and goals. My goal for teaching is that I plan to do this forever. I plan to just be a teacher for the rest of my life and a player. I play in different bands and ensembles, but teaching is such a big passion for me, and I love child work. I've been doing it even before I was teaching as a camp counselor and things like that, etc. And I really find purpose in helping others and helping the youth and bringing them into a place where they feel confident and strong and purposeful and comfortable in what they're doing. Some of my philosophies in teaching, which was question number 2, is allowing the student to speak. We have a lot to say as teachers, and a lot of times we spend majority of the time talking and explaining and teaching, and then a student can feel after a lesson like they didn't even say anything or they didn't even get to play that much. And I really feel like that mode should be inverted and flipped, and we should really be allowing the student to speak in a way, not just vocally with their voices, but with their music. They all have something to say, and they should be allowed to say it in response or even directly towards us, but also in response of what we're saying. I believe that each student is musical already in general, and they just need to be given an instrument and a voice to be able to explain it and incorporate that in their lifestyle. I also believe in some of the philosophy feelings and question that was asked, is that it's not necessarily a useful purpose or philosophy or an angle for us to come down to students' levels. I believe that as us teachers and professionals and maybe a higher musical level, it's a more substantial philosophy to bring them up more towards our level, to realize that yes, we're good at what we do, but you can also be good at what you do. You can also be great. Instead of us kind of coming down to a student's level, it's important for us to be able to bring them up. Anybody who's been told that they are great means that they are great for a reason. Other people have said so, and they should belong there, and they should be on that pedestal. But we should be rising and bringing others up, and they will rise a lot faster if we bring them up than if we get down to their level and necessarily push them up. We should be an inspiration first and foremost. Teaching to work together. Music teaches so many life lessons, which I love to include. And I mean, a simple life lesson to understand is that to be a good musician, you have to be a good listener. You have to be able to work with others. And those are just general, amazing life lessons that we should be able to have, to work with others and to listen to others and to learn from others. A lot of musicians are good at their instrument and they're great at their scales and what they do, but they love playing by themselves. They love playing by themselves, and they like to kind of tuck themselves away and practice, and that's great. I'm sure your intonation is exceptional and your scales are impeccable, but I feel like there might be a life lesson that's missing there in learning to work together, learning to listen to others. You need to be able to be a good listener if you're going to be a good musician, and that's just a general life lesson. So those are some of my goals as a teacher and some philosophies. I love the Tati Labs. I went through one and I learned so much. A lot of what I'm saying may necessarily be coming directly from that. I absolutely just embellish and relish every opportunity I get to do a lab or a training seminar, any of those things, because I feel like as teachers, there is no ending. We are never ending. There is no final goal. You never get to the end and say, oh, I've done it all, and now I'm a full teacher. Yes, we are all teachers, but we are always constantly learning. There's always more to learn. We never get to the end. There's two quotes that I want to leave you with that come from maybe somebody that I've learned a lot from. And he says, his name is Victor Wooten, and he's taught a lot of, he's a amazing bassist, but first and foremost a musician and a teacher. And he said that, and some of the things that I like to incorporate and quotes that I like to leave my students with is, one is that music is like counting to infinity. Music is like counting to infinity. You never get to an end. There is no end to infinity. You will always be counting. However, at the same time, the more you count, the further away from the beginning you get. So that really resonates with me, and I like to include that with my students. And the final thing that I like to leave them with, and a final quote that I will leave you with in my application video, is that I tell students is that you're already great and successful. The rest of the world just doesn't know it yet. They just haven't seen it yet. So it's up to us to be able to train and to learn our ways through our instrument and learn it together so that we can show the world how great and successful we and you are. Thank you for considering me. My name is Daniel Stevens.